morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me get in here. Let's get this. Let's kill the intro. All right, the intro is gone. Good morning, everybody. Check this good there. Let's get this on. How y'all feeling on this Friday? How is everybody feeling today? Let's get this on. Let's check this out. Good morning, Dawn. Dawn, I've been thinking about the stream from Sunday, and I think when you leave the stream and come back to the stream, I think it's bringing you back to the same spot you were before. So when you come back to the stream and leave the stream, make sure you hit the live. And I think that was the issue why it might seem like things were off. I've been waiting for you to come back, Dawn, so I could tell you that. Dawn coming in early.
Oh my God! Wow!
Dawn is wasting no time.
I got money.
Make sure I can show this. Why? Everybody put Dawn in the chat. Dawn in the chat. Everybody put Dawn in the chat. Dawn is starting this thing off early. Shedeur will soar. Let me make sure it can show up. Let me lift this up just a little bit to give this the proper. There we go. There we go. Dawn starting early with the super chats. We didn't even get through the good mornings, but everybody is excited for this Sunday, as I am as well. So let's get to this thing. Let me make sure I greet everybody who was in here. Good morning, Zedric. Good morning, Latika. Latika said, I'm off. I can focus. I saw you on TikTok. I saw you. Shanithia in the building. What's going on, Shanithia? How are you today?
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
C. Brown Run, good morning to you. Zedric, I believe you were on to something, my friend. Found out last night you could take bad sacks and retreat if you want an MVP. Talk to him. Talk to him. I saw that too as they were counting the sacks. They were counting the sacks like, let me count the ways. I saw that as well. Let's see. Detroit. Oh, you switch it up on me. Detroit Cat. What's going on? I'm so used to saying Detroit Gemini that I almost read it as Detroit Gemini, but you switched it up on me, Detroit Cat. What is going on? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Miss Brown, good morning. Shanithia, that was crazy work from him last night. They were putting all that pressure on them. So you see Daniel Owusie Twitter post with Deuce Mac song overlay. I'm excited for Sunday. I am as well. I didn't see that. Let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look. Let me look this up while we're getting into it. So I got a great show for us today. There's been a lot of talk about reps. There's been a lot of talk about Kevin Stefanski. We're gonna get to all of it, and y'all know we're gonna go to the top of the bar. We're gonna see what Tom Brady says about reps, and we're gonna put this thing into perspective. We're going to put it into perspective because I don't care about the backup's backup who can never get on the field. I don't care about the backup who played for the Detroit Lions when they were, going 0-16. I don't care about any of those things. So I want to know what the best are talking about. I got Daniel Foussier here. Let's see what he got. Yeah, Detroit Gemini. I seen it. I was like, dang, I was like, you switching up the name. So I pay attention to your picture and your name. So when the name changes happen, You can tell that I pay attention to y'all because I notice if a picture or a name changes. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep up. I try to make sure that we are building this community out and make sure that we're on the same page with each other. So as much as I interact with the chat, I notice the little tweaks. I notice them. I'm checking out Daniel Wusier's stuff now. And let's see. Shanithia, if you got it, can you drop the link in? Just drop the link in the chat for me. The one you were speaking of. I'm going through his stuff now. They've been arguing me down on X that it's okay because he's an elite QB. It's unacceptable regardless of status in the league. Talk to him, Zedric. Talk to him. Basically, what all this boils down to is I hate Shedeur. If y'all just want to know the facts, man, that's just the facts of it. There are a lot of people who want to see Shedeur fail. And since they want to see him fail, the way they view things is clouded. The way they speak on him is clouded. Everything is off because they want to see him fail. That's all it comes down to. If you are ever going through my social media and you say, man, you are active on YouTube, you read all the comments, you respond to people, you like all the comments, you respond on TikTok, you like the comments over there. If y'all notice, I don't post as much on X. I don't post as much on X because what I realize is people are there to argue. They just want to argue. And I don't got time to be arguing with people. I don't got time. I don't have time to be arguing with people. Why are we not showing chat highlight? Let's get the chat highlight up there. Let's get this back up here. Let's go here. All right. C.A. Anderson coming in strong.
Oh my God! Wow!
That's Dawn and C.A. Anderson coming in out the gate. Everybody put C.A. Anderson in the chat.
I got money.
Let's see what he has to say. Seattle in the house, getting ready for work, but I'm here. Can't chat, but I can support. Excited for your show. Stay gold. Man, oh man. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate y'all's words, man. Y'all speak life into me. Y'all give me that extra push, that extra motivation to keep going and get better. And I appreciate the fact that y'all enjoy it. That's also the reason why I keep my stuff on subscribers only mode, because the people who really want to support the show are willing to subscribe, and then we can have a conversation amongst ourselves. So I really appreciate that, especially when y'all are like getting ready for work, y'all are at work and listening to me. I just don't know if y'all realize how much I appreciate y'all. So I always say thank you always for being here. C.A. Anderson coming with the early. I appreciate you. Good morning, Live Gratefully 247. Good morning, Marita snuck in the building.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
We got Asante. What's going on, Asante? Good morning. Live Gratefully 247. Those people even celebrated the break-in. Extremely sick people. Thank you, Shanithia. Extremely sick people who want to see him fail that bad. They want to see him fail that bad. So it's just crazy. It is crazy. Let's keep it going. I'm a 67-year-old. Oh, young woman, not a man. I think I need a picture. My bad. I wasn't sure. 87% of my audience is men. With C.A. Anderson, I appreciate you. I'm sorry for that. I won't forget it. But I appreciate you. My apologies. I won't forget it. Yeah, it took me by surprise because it's for sure for Shedeur. He always try to come across neutral. All right.
It's almost time, man.
All right, I got the post here. I'm going to show it. We're going to go through these comments, and then I got the post here that Shanithia sent me. Dawn is retired. Congratulations, Dawn. You really get to, enjoy your life now. That's when it opens up for you. You're so true. They just want to see the young man fail. I agree, Ms. Brown. That's it. I agree. Donis says she's 65. Live life gratefully. Good morning. Good morning to you. So we got some really good things on the docket. We got Cam Newton, surprisingly, giving one of the best breakdowns of the situation regarding Kevin Stefanski. Cam Newton is just really, he dug into it. He going to explain some things with himself. So with him, it's going to be a long breakdown of Cam Newton. It's a long breakdown of Cam Newton that we're going to get to later. That's going to be the main topic. I'm going to show you all a little teaser of that. Let's see. Let's get this right.
Oh my God! Wow!
Drop Miss Brown in the chat, everybody. Thank you for the super sticker. Drop Miss Brown in the chat.
I got money.
Thank you for always being here. Thank you for your support. I look back at one of my other streams. I was trying to find something I said a couple months ago, and it's funny because some of the names that I saw in the chat are still here today. Beast was definitely in that chat. Zedric was in that chat. Miss Brown was in that chat. Spiritual War Exposed was in that chat. So I just appreciate y'all always showing up and showing me your support. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Why is the media being so hard on Shedeur, acting like he has to be perfect in one game? Is crazy. I noticed that as well. Detroit, I'm so used to calling you Detroit Gemini. Don't take it offensive if I call you Detroit Gemini. Detroit Gemini, I noticed that as well. They act like this is make or break. They act like if Shedeur doesn't go throw for 303 touchdowns, he's going to be out the league. And I'm like, where are y'all getting this from? Why is the bar so high for the person who just started being treated like a person who was on the team, but the bar was so much lower for Dillon Gabriel? Dillon Gabriel, the bar was don't lose the game. The bar for Shedeur is he has to be a superstar. It's crazy. Because then the next question is, are you grading him based on him being a 5th round pick? Because that's what you always throw in my face. Or are you grading him on his true talent, realizing he should have been drafted higher than the 5th round? These are the questions. Because y'all always throw in our face that he's a 5th round pick, but now y'all saying he got to be so good. I ain't really understanding it. I ain't really understand it. I'm trying to figure it out. So somebody got to help me with that. Somebody can help me. Oh, Miss Brown is retired too. Shout out to y'all. This is when you really get to live. Cam was spot on. Hanging out at the HBCU is helping. It's something because Cam, he was at that point where it was like, man, you kind of teetering. You're kind of teetering, man. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? Cam went off. I know it wouldn't take long for him to say it out loud. Facts. He really looked into it, and you see it. Yeah, that Cam Newton breakdown resulted in a red shirt year narrative. Yeah, the red shirt year narrative. Think about that. So, all the people who said Kevin Stefanski did not have Shedeur's best interest, he didn't have Kevin Stefanski did not have Shedeur's best interest at heart. Kevin Stefanski also was the one who said that he is going to be a red shirt and not play this entire year. So how do you have his best interest at heart if you say you're just going to bench him for the whole year before he did anything? These are the questions. You got to ask yourself. Hey, I'm just the one to ask the questions. Ivy League Mac, what's going on? Don, you're true. That's when it becomes racial because then you got to dig deeper to find the answers. Latika, you know what it is. We got to be twice as good as they are. Facts. They want a superstar performance from him, C. Brown Ryan. Right. Detroit Gemini. They can't have it both ways. 5th round pick or what? Facts. Tessa, what's going on? Cam, he put one of my moves. Cam came like this. Cam put out those CVS level receipts. Cam came with the receipts. Yep. I still side eye Cam. Dawn, I am there with you. Just to let y'all know. I'm going to let y'all know how I view things, and I just tell y'all, I'm always hesitant for the people who was riding one way, then they switch up. You know, I need more. I need more of you being honest. I need more of you calling out what you see. I need more of you saying what it is. Because y'all know I don't just jump behind nobody 1,000%. It takes time. I want to respond so bad, but I'm on the road. Hey, Asante, stay safe out there, my brother. Stay safe out there. It's going to be you got a couple hours, so we're going to see. We're going to see. But stay safe out there on the road, Asante. Stefanski wanted to redshirt Sanders before playing, then allow his staff to say Sanders was unprepared as if that was why he wasn't playing. Facts. This is all on Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski could have killed all these narratives if he chose to. He chose to allow these things to grow legs, and he chose to allow people to look into this further. He chose this course of action. This is on Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski using the redshirt year as a cover for his mistake. When Flacco was traded, though, that should have been his time to pivot. Facts. Facts. Once you dig in and you just stay that one way and you're not willing to change, that's how you run into L's. You run right into those L's. So that's what Kevin Stefanski has been doing. So, Beast, what's good? All right. So this is what Shanithia sent us. Let's play it. It's almost time. I like that. I like that. It's a fact. It is almost time. It is almost time. It's almost time to get out there. This is why Shedeur has to put the tape out there. I was always the person who said, no, I don't want him to sit a whole year so they can create all these different narratives. I want him to get out there. I want him to get the opportunity to play. That's what I want. I think Cam really do like Shedeur. He just, I don't know. Yeah, Latika, I agree with that. He just kind of like, he's stuck in a weird spot because he wants to critique Shedeur. He wants to see Shedeur do well, but it's just off. Sabrina, what's going on? Okay, so this is another one. So I know they changed Detroit Gemini's name. That girl Bree, did you change your name or is YouTube chat showing your name different? Because I know your profile picture, you usually post as Sabrina. So this is going to be the second person whose name changed. They trying to see how good my memory is. Do you think Kevin will try to play Dillon even though they promised Shedeur will play the last 4 games? I don't trust Kevin. I think the proper course of action is to play Shedeur because I think Shedeur is going to perform this weekend. I will say, if he went back to Dillon, I wouldn't be surprised. If he went back to Dillon, I wouldn't be surprised because he is trying to prove himself right at all costs. And he's sacrificing the team, and we've seen that. So my gut tells me he will try to go back to Dillon. That's what my gut tells me. I don't want it to be that way, but that's what my gut is telling me, unfortunately. Cam is just weird science. Yeah, C.A. Anderson, it's hard. The situation with Cam is hard. There's always been a double standard for us. We have to do more with less. One thing for sure, God has the final say. You can't do God, children any kind of way and expect to be blessed. Talk to him. Talk to him. Let's not forget it's the Browns. It is. It's a show. Crown Woman Collective. Welcome to the chat. It is the Browns. It is. Okay, so that girl Bree, yes, you changed it, so I'll address you by that girl Bree. I did like what Cam said about his resume. He prefers a certain type of personality to coach. He could only coach AP for a few months. That was very critical in what he said. Very critical in what he said. Hey, he only feel comfortable coaching this type of guy, which you have to say is true because remember when I showed y'all that he didn't get Dorian Thompson-Robinson ready, but I showed y'all Dorian Thompson-Robinson talking to the media, and he sounded like he was in the same group of people as the Dillon Gabriel, as the Kevin Stefanskis, as the Andrew Berrys. They want people who fit in the box. That's what that is. He can put Dillon out there if he want to. He will personally be responsible for breaking him. I agree with that. It's one of those situations where I know what he should do, but at this point, I can't put nothing past Kevin Stefanski. Shedeur will do well on Sunday. He is not going through all of this for nothing. It's going to be a great story of triumph, at least for 1 week. Totally agree with that, Detroit Gemini. Cam already sold out when he didn't fall on his fumble in the Super Bowl. Cam has to play both sides of the fence. Yeah, he is definitely in a weird spot based on some of the things he said previously about Shedeur. Definitely in a weird spot. So we're going to watch it and see. We got to let the Super Bowl fumble go. We can't keep living in the past. Yeah, he's done things since then. I understand why people bring it up because it's one of the lowlights of his career. But he not playing no more. So I'm going based on what he say. Now. And I question some of the things he say. But let's get this thing kicked off, y'all. Let's kick this thing off. This is going to be, let's call it, this is going to be the main topic of the show, but I'm going to give y'all a little snippet now. We're going to get back to it later, but this is going to be the main topic.
So when I can make my point,
Okay.
and being mindful of what time,
All right.
Shedeur.
Hey, take me through there.
I'm about to literally make a point that I'm not going off of emotions. I'm not saying, why would you put an individual in the game knowing good and damn well that he ain't prepared? Not because he don't want to be prepared, not because he haven't made the initiative or the effort to be prepared. It's because what Rick Ross said. These haters trying to hold me back. These haters trying to hold me. You holding him back from his greatest full potential.
Right there, I got to give it to Cam. Talk to him. So we're going to get to Cam later, but we got to go through some different avenues to check every box before we get to Cam later on. But we're going to get to Cam. We're going to get to him. What people try to do is they try to put a narrative out there about Shedeur that's totally false. And then when you push back on them, they will say, oh, you just defend Shedeur at all costs. I'm going to show y'all a good example with Manti Te'o, who was completely wrong about Shedeur. And then also it's okay when other people do it, not okay when Shedeur does it. Who's to say Dillon doesn't remain in concussion protocol for another week? That would be an eyebrow raiser. Yes. He could remain in concussion protocol. CJ Stroud, who plays for the Houston Texans, has been in concussion protocol. He's missed 3 games. So you can miss more than 1 game. Did you see Judy was upset? I did see Judy was upset. I don't think that had anything to do with the Browns. To me, that seemed like somebody who probably was having something off the field going on. So I lost my train of thought right mid sentence. I wouldn't read too deep into the Jerry Jeudy situation until we get some other things that we hear. I don't know why. I started reading your comments and I was talking and I was thinking it was too much going on. I kind of glitched there for a second. I had to get up out the matrix. I glitched, but we back. What do you think about them signing Caden for Shedeur? I think you do everything to make Shedeur feel comfortable, so I appreciate that. I say do everything to make him feel comfortable. Everything you could do out there. Everything you could do. Judy needs 1,000 yards. He can't get it. That he is far away from 1,000. I think he needs another around 700 if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, they're making him look bad. They're making his numbers look bad, real bad. He did keep saying one thing though, reps. He did. He said that a lot. Texans put a beating on Josh Allen. He was running backwards, taking sacks, and he a mobile QB. Talk to him. Talk to him. Talk to him. All right, now y'all know I like to. They're trying to spin it as if he has something to do with Shedeur. Yeah, I don't think he got nothing to do with Shedeur. All right, let's do this. This is what I want to do. I'm going to show y'all an example of people getting things wrong and then them being mad at the pushback. So we're going to go Manti Te'o. We're going to start off Manti Te'o. Where is he at? So we got him here. Where he at? Uh-oh, did they take the post down? Hold up. He must have been getting some pushback for this. All right, so Manti Te'o said, oh, I don't want to see Shedeur doing this. I don't want to see Shedeur doing that. Let me see something real quick. Let me find this post. He was speaking on what he wanted to see from Shedeur. Caden Davis, Marie, he's the one who caught the 2 touchdown passes from Shedeur versus the Carolina Panthers. Let me find it. Because he was talking. Did they take the post down? They might have took the post down, y'all. So Mantateo, I don't want to see Shedeur dancing. I don't want to see him being all about himself. Did they take it down? I think they took it down. They might have took the post down. Mantateo was talking out of his neck about Shedeur. That didn't make sense. Then he was talking about how much he liked Baker Mayfield. Dang, they took the post down. They took the post down. So they might have been going at his neck. Getting it wrong, then mad for the pushback. Sucker behavior. Facts. They took this post down. So I saved the post because when I saw it, I was like, this is crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. And he was saying, I don't want to see Shedeur. He was like, I don't want to see Shedeur dancing, making it about himself and all those things. So then he said this about Baker Mayfield previously, which didn't make sense to me. Let's get it. X could be having a problem here. What's going on, X? X seems to be having an issue. And he alluded to Ivy League Mac, you know what it is. He alluded to Shedeur's teammates not really. He was like, if your teammates, they need to believe in you and all this thing. So I wanted to show where he got it wrong, but they took the post down. But that's okay. We still moving along. This is how Shedeur's teammates no, not Caden Davis, Marie. That was what's his name, number 37. That was Luke Floria. Luke Floria is the one who got injured. I don't think Caden Davis got injured. I think they just had him on the practice squad. But basically, Mantateo was alluding to Shedeur's teammates. It'll tell you how good he is if you look at his teammates and how they speak on him. So this is their teammates speaking on them. We're just gonna skip past the Mantateo part and go to his teammates speaking on him.
What you see each and every day, how he prepares, how he practices, how serious he takes everything, and then just the raw talent, especially like you said, so many reps and stuff with him. I see the type of balls he can throw, the type of plays he can make. And I'm just excited to see him go out there and put on the show.
I just see him working all the time. Doesn't really matter what the circumstances is. He's always willing to work out even in the morning. But when I'm here, he's already here. And just the extra that he's willing to put into this process and to make sure that he's ready to do his job. So I know that with his work ethic and I'll just say his overall belief in himself and the abilities that they put all of us in, that he'll do a great job.
Me personally, I just think he throws a really catchable ball. He kind of knows where to place it based on the coverage or if he has to layer it. Not every ball needs to be a bullet type of pass, so he knows how to really put touch on it. And I think you have a quarterback that's very friendly to the receiver. I think that just instills confidence in everybody.
He comes to work every day looking to get better and be himself. So looking forward to seeing how he do with a week of preparation and coming out here and performing.
Okay, so y'all just heard it. Does this sound like they're describing a player who his teammates don't believe in him? Does it sound like they're describing a player who is all about himself? Because that was what Mantateo was trying to say. Mantateo was trying to say he's all about himself. His players don't believe in him and all those things. Completely false. Everybody believes in him. Guys are upbeat. Guys are hype. So it's just completely false. And what they want to do is they want to say, oh man, Shedeur's people come out and then they criticize you and critique you for it. Yes, because you're so wrong. When you get things this wrong and people criticize you, I don't have an issue with that. I have no issue with that. Get things right and people won't criticize you. Get things wrong, you got to face the criticism. Why do you think there's so much hatred around Shedeur? Because people don't know who Shedeur is. They haven't watched Shedeur. They don't understand his character. They have never had a conversation with him. And what they want to do is they want to put him in a box. That's what they want to do. Ultimately, the people who don't like Shedeur want to put him in a box. They want to say his dad was flashy. We don't like him. They want to say he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. We don't like him. They want to say all these things without ever having a conversation with him. So then They just ride with whatever they're saying, and it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with anything he's actually done. Nothing to do with it. Yeah, they just hate the hate. Did anybody hear what Terry Bradshaw said about Shedeur do straight race? I didn't see anything from Terry Bradshaw. But it's a couple people. Boomer Esiason, I know how he feels, so he can stay on his side. Terry Bradshaw, I know how he feels, he can stay on his side. I'm not looking to respond to all of their things. Some people who are on coverage, like Good Morning Football is an NFL show, I'm gonna critique them because they're on TV 5 days a week. Terry Bradshaw, he talks a little bit. He comes out there on Sundays. I know how he feels. I'll just leave him where he's at. I'm gonna leave him where he's at. That's how I choose it. That's how I choose to do it. They want to set the narrative he is not a good person because they want to undermine any success he may have this weekend because they don't like the culture he represents. That's a fact. Also, I didn't mention that, but the culture. They think rapper, jewelry, lifestyle, they think all those things. What is the first thing Shedeur did? I'm going to quiz y'all today. What is the first thing Shedeur did to put to bed the rumors of him being flashy and blowing money? What's the first thing he did for the Browns? The first thing that happened. That's my question for y'all. The very first thing Shedeur did to show he don't just blow money. I want y'all to, I'm going to put that one on y'all. See if y'all figure that one out. Let's see if anybody gets it. I'm going to give y'all a second, and then we're going to run through these Browns quarterbacks. I'm going to show y'all all the quarterbacks the Browns have had since 1999. I'm going to give y'all a second. I'm going to run these quarterbacks while I'm waiting on y'all. The question is, what is the first thing Shedeur did to crush the narrative about him being flashy and blowing money when he was a Cleveland Brown? Close. Y'all are pointing out some good stuff he did, but there's one thing in particular. I knew somebody was going to come through.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Shanithia got it, y'all. Shanithia got it. The first thing Shedeur did to show he did not blow money was he didn't blow money on getting the number 2. That was the very first thing he did. People had a perception of him. He wants to be a rapper. He wants to be flashy with money, flashy with jewelry. They assumed he lives this flashy lifestyle. The very first opportunity where he could have blew some money, he did not do it. And it was he did not blow the money on the number 2 who took it and then ended up being injured. He did not blow the money. That was the first example he did. The first thing he did was, what did he say? He was at the press conference. He said, nah, my signing bonus ain't really like that. That was the first thing he did to push off the narratives of him blowing money. That was the very first thing he did. Very first thing. So they got it wrong from the beginning. From the very beginning, they got it wrong. He walked in and they got it wrong immediately. Number two saying, oh man, I wanted number 2. But at the same time, he went to Shedeur to see if Shedeur wanted to buy the jersey. Shedeur said, I'm cool. That was the first thing he did. I'm not blowing money. Then he also did the things he's always done, because Shedeur's always gave back to the community. He's always helped the community. So they got him wrong from the beginning. Do y'all remember when he was going out into communities as soon as he got to Cleveland? As soon as he got to Cleveland, he went to, I believe it was Lincoln West. It was a high school on the west side. I think it was Lincoln West. I could be wrong if it wasn't Lincoln West. As soon as he got to Cleveland, he started going to high schools, started showing up for the kids. What was the narrative around him going to the high schools? What was the narrative? It was somebody in particular. I'm going to give y'all a hint who started to push this narrative. It was Bomani Jones. Bomani Jones started to push this narrative. Do y'all remember the narrative that Bomani Jones started to push? He did go to the high school. Don is right there. Is he still on the team? I know he was injured. Yeah, he been injured for a minute. He's still on the team, Cedric. Bomani Jones said Shedeur was doing it for PR. That was the very first thing Bomani Jones said. He's going to the high school as PR with he never looked into anything Shedeur did in the past. Shedeur was going to high schools in Boulder. He was going to high schools and he was training in Florida. He was going to high schools in Texas. It was something he always did. So every step of the way, they got it wrong. C.A. Anderson, you got it. You got it. C.A. Anderson got it. They said what he has always been doing was a PR stunt. They got it wrong. They got it wrong every step of the way. Every step of the way, they got it wrong. So the way he is with money, if they would have seen anything from Coach Prime, they would know he's not just going to blow money. They got that wrong. They said he was going to communities as PR stunts. They got that wrong. It's just, once you go down the list, they always get everything wrong with Shedeur. They always get it wrong. And I think they get it wrong because they don't care enough to try to get it right. That's why I think they get it wrong. I don't really show Bomani Jones anymore. I used to all good, CA. You got it right. You got it right. I don't show Bomani Jones on my show anymore because Bomani Jones, when I was going to him in the summer when he was saying all this stuff that was not true, I started getting my stuff started getting kind of shadowed on YouTube and on TikTok. And I was like, oh man, he's trying to say like I'm stealing his content. So just for critiquing him, so I left Bomani Jones alone. You can get up there and you can spill the lies, and then when somebody corrects you, you want to try to do a copyright on them. I was like, I'm never going to just show him again because I see what he's on. You're right. They even tried to run the PR that narrative when he tried to console the kicker. Shanithia, talk to him. Talk to him. Everything Shedeur does, they get it wrong. Everything. And I believe they're getting it wrong on purpose. Bomani hasn't given an unbiased take about the Sanders since they left Jackson State. Facts. Was it that he just wanted to show off? They were trying to say that too. Take a quick 2-minute warning break. We'll be right back. All good, CA. CA, we gonna be here. We got a long show. We gonna be here. Also, I want to get to a comment that Detroit Gemini said. I saw it earlier, but I just want to get back to it. Detroit Gemini said that she enjoys this community. This is a place where you want to build a community where you can have good conversations and not feed into the media narratives, and then also we can just get to the truth of the situation. Just get to the truth of it. A lot of people don't want to do that. So in some instances, this will cause me to have a slower path to growth, but I'd rather the slower path to growth with going through things based on the facts versus going through things and just spitballing it as we go. I just don't rock with that. So I believe this is a great community, and I believe that's why this community is being built out this way. Same D, I just watched him faithfully back in the day. It's too disingenuous now. Facts. Can't watch him. That's why I want people to talk. I want people to go out there and say what they mean and mean what they say. So then I'm just going to put you in the box of, we know you don't do the research. We're going to let you be. We just going to let you be. This is going to be important. I want to show y'all how many Browns quarterbacks there have been. Shedeur is going to be the 42nd Browns quarterback to start since 1999. And the reason why this is an important thing to show y'all is because people want us to believe the Browns have any idea about how to develop or prepare quarterbacks as an organization. Oh, it's okay. They got one rookie. They give him all the reps. The backup don't get any reps, even though he's a rookie. But the Browns, they know what they're doing. Why should we? I'm a Browns fan. I don't trust the Browns to get a quarterback ready because all I got to do is go back to the Browns history. Even if I look at when Shedeur was here, even when Kevin Stefanski was here, look at all the quarterbacks that played. So many of them got out there and not been prepared. So they don't have a history of development or a good track record of it. So I'm not going to give them grace when it comes to developing somebody. I refuse to do it. I've seen this story. I've seen it play out too many times. All Shedeur got to do is play smart, let the defense know he will be going deep. Facts. The way that you get guys backing off of the line of scrimmage is to throw it over their heads. Once you do that, opens up the run game. Once you have the option to run or pass on any play, that's how you open up an offense. All right, so this is the list. I'm not going to play the music. I'm not going to play the music because I got some sound on here. I want y'all to see the list of quarterbacks who have started for the Browns, and this is the organization that they want me to believe knows how to develop quarterbacks. You have 42 of them since 99. Clearly, you don't know how to develop them. Let's see it, y'all. Tim Couch, Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson. Some of these names y'all gonna know, some y'all won't. Spurgeon Wynn, Kelly Holcomb, Jeff Garcia, Luke McCown, Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry, Derek Anderson, Ken Dorsey, Brady Quinn, Bruce Gronkowski, Colt McCoy, Seneca Wallace, Jake Delhomme, Brandon Whedon, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Connor Shaw, Josh McNown, Austin Davis, Cody Kessler, Robert Griffith III, Deshaun Kaiser, Kevin Hogan, Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor, Case Keenum. This is the Kevin Stefanski era. Nick Mullins, Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, DTR, PJ Walker, Jeff Driscoll, Jameis Winston, Bailey Zappi, Dillon Gabriel. They forgot DTR in 2024. That's the list, y'all. Does this look like an organization that knows how to develop quarterbacks? Should we trust them? Should we trust him? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. All right, let's get to it. One thing they haven't done much of this year is push the ball downfield early, need at least 2 a quarter. I agree with that, Zedric. That's head coaching malpractice to not give your second string QB any first team reps at any point. That's the key to it. No first team reps at any point. Not during the offseason, not during training camp, at any point. That is a disaster. That's a disaster. Clyde Marshall, good morning. Let me give you a round of applause. My bad, brother. Good morning, Clyde. The other day, Kurt Warner said, I watched the tape. Shedeur receivers botched the routes, and that's why he held onto the ball. To me, Kurt said he looked to pass the ball in stride. We broke down the film. I have Kurt Warner on the docket for today just to show you the end of his recap. The end of Kurt Warner's recap, because we already broke down the film. I don't know. He was so excited when he found out he specifically was the 42nd QB, though. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him, and he's hype about it. So I'm happy for him. Why they give up on Couch? Injuries. Yes. When we had Tim Couch, our offensive line was terrible, and it was a very bad relationship between the fans and Tim Couch because of the fans lost faith in Tim Couch, but he should have never been out there playing. He started getting injured. They booed when he was on the ground injured. It was just a very messed up thing. Browns wanted to extend him. He declined and left, which I can see why he did it. Yes, G. Bush said they should not be allowed to talk to any QBs in the draft because they don't know what they are doing. Steve Harvey said, QB is not what we do. That's a fact. It's facts. It's facts. It's too many of them to say you have any idea what you're doing. So how can we put you on a pedestal and say we should trust in your process? Your process is bad. That's sad. The dysfunction runs deep in that organization. Facts. When they threw DTR out there unprepared, they blamed DTR. Now people seeing it's Kevin Stefanski. C. Brown run. Talk to him. C. Brown run. I did a breakdown showing them that Kevin Stefanski was not good at getting young QBs ready. I did that probably, I don't know, at this point, my weeks is running together, maybe a month and a half ago, just to show people that this is more a Kevin Stefanski thing than it is how every young player go out there. None of them can do the job. That's on the system. Peyton Manning in his first game threw for 300 yards with 3 interceptions, 1 TD. He was a first-round draft pick. He played the entire game. Nobody called him a bust. He also threw the most interceptions in his rookie season, Asante, so you're right. Fire Stefanski now. Talk to him, Marie.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Look at who Shedeur will actually be playing with on game day. That's why Judy is mad. I don't think they can fully take Jerry Jeudy out of the game. That would not be smart to me. Jerry Jeudy has to be the number one, and they have to rotate everybody else in with Jerry Jeudy. They have to rotate everybody else in. Ms. Brown, it is ridiculous. Once you see it, you look at it differently. So when people say all these things about the Browns and quarterbacks, y'all got to see it. That's why I was so happy somebody put this together so y'all can see a visual representation of how Kevin Stefanski and this regime have went through so many quarterbacks and they haven't been ready. I just want y'all to see it.
Oh my God! Wow!
C.A. Anderson coming back. I need y'all to put C.A. Anderson in the chat. Put C.A. Anderson in the chat. C.A. Anderson said, I got something to say.
I got money.
They prepare QBs to be successful for other organizations. Deshaun is the only one stuck for life. Yeah, because of that contract. That's a fact. They do. They prepare him to go other places and play better. When you look at starting QBs for the Browns, when we just showed y'all that list, ones that people said career backup, they went and earned starting jobs other places. That's on Kevin Stefanski. It's on Kevin Stefanski. That's just it. I think they can get more time in with Judy. He'll be okay. I agree with that. That's because all money ain't good money. Latika, I agree with that as well. I agree with that. I agree with y'all sentiments for sure. Appreciate you again, C.A. Anderson. So now that y'all realize this is not an organization that we can trust, it looks like Myles Garrett stuck for life too. Yeah, unfortunately he is. He didn't have leverage when he tried to get traded. He didn't have leverage. They still could have franchise tagged him 2 more times. They just said, we're not trading you. So that's why he's still here. That's why Myles is still here. He didn't have leverage to get out. Let's keep this thing moving along. Let's see what I got next on the docket for y'all. Make sure I go in order. I don't want to mess it up. All right. Clyde was talking about Kurt Warner. I got Kurt Warner's up here somewhere. Where is he at? Let me get to, this is just the end. The media is putting more pressure on Shedeur than Cam Ward, the first draft pick. That's a fact. They're making every excuse in the world. I'm sorry. They are making every excuse in the world why Cam Ward is playing bad, even though some of his, he throws a good ball, but some of his fundamentals are off. And he is truly the one that is always looking for the deep pass, unfortunately. And they're trying to tag Shedeur with that. And to me, I'm like, stick to the script, man. Have y'all really watched Shedeur play in college, or are y'all just repeating what other people say? That list is insane. Detroit Gemini, it's a fact. It's crazy. I watched Shedeur's TCU game, and he was getting the ball out between 2 to 3 seconds because the offensive line had time. Talk to him. It's a narrative that we got to get to in today's show that they're going to talk about with Shedeur holding the ball. It's some things that they are saying that I just can't stand. I can't stand some of the stuff they're saying. But Clyde mentioned this, and this is what we're going to get to. So if you watch the whole breakdown from Kurt Warner, you will notice Kurt Warner said some similar things as I said. Football is a game of understanding. Once you understand it, you can break it down. I want y'all to hear what Kurt Warner says at the end of his breakdown of Shedeur. I just want y'all to hear it. All right, let's go.
And so that's where it ends. So overall, I thought Shedeur played a really good football game, right? Cleaned some things up, make some better throws, all things that I think can get better as he gets more comfortable getting thrown in. We've all talked about not an easy situation to get thrown in without any reps, not expecting to go in, all of that stuff, and come in and play well. But overall, I thought the decisions, when he had opportunities in front of him, were pretty good decisions for the most part. Number of plays, there was nothing there. He's making some positive plays. Some things, hey, throw the ball away, avoid the sacks, something he's got to work on moving forward. But to me, the stats lie in terms of how I thought Shedeur handled the situation, and I expect this week to be even better.
There you have it. Have y'all noticed that people are mad when people aren't just saying Shedeur was really bad? If you go to the comments of these videos, and I'm not saying you got to respond to the people, but I just like to see how people respond when somebody breaks it down. And they say, oh, well, he's just saying this because he views Shedeur as the number one QB coming out, so he's caping for him. Nah, because he actually said in there some stuff he got to clean up. So they just be talking. Clyde Marshall, the other day, I watched a breakdown. The excellent diagnosis is an A. I appreciate it. All Shedeur has to do is duplicate the Panthers game. I agree. I think he could do it. Shedeur, Michael Jackson saying, "You are not alone. I was sacked 8 times by the Texans, and I kept holding on to the ball. You are not alone. I am here with you." All right, that's enough of my bad singing. But that was a good call out, Michael Jackson. It's a fact. It's no people don't want to hold every quarterback to the same standard. They want to say it's okay for Josh Allen to do it because he's been better. I would flip that and say because Josh Allen has been in the league this long, it's worse that he is taking 8 sacks and holding on to the ball. I would say a rookie who has played 2 quarters of football is not as bad because he has time to get better. So people just don't have good standards. They don't have good standards with it. His breakdown was really good. I agree. Tackle play will be key this game. Wherever Max is lined up needs to be double. I agree. I wonder, since I'm an accountant, if Haslam uses the Browns as a tax write-off, they're good in defense. They get it right, but offense, where they spend the most money, is cost-effective loss. I agree. Marie saw the breakdown. Yes, I watched this breakdown. It was good. He put on a disclaimer to Shedeur supporters while he proceeded with caution. You know, it's a funny thing that people go and do that. I just say what it is because I expect the backlash. The media, I said this around draft time, and I was talking about Mike Florio and how traditional media is not used to the pushback that they're going to get. So in real time, they don't know how to handle it. So they all give disclaimers. Tyvis was giving disclaimers the other day. Kurt Warner giving disclaimers. Everybody giving disclaimers because they can't take the pushback. I stand on what I say. So if you want to disagree with me, that's cool. Disagreements are okay. Everybody don't have to agree, but I find the disclaimers funny. Most SQBs that were starters are for Shedeur. Are jizzled. That's a fact. They were hot at Kurt and saying Coach Prime buying them to have their takes. So weird. It's a fact. People want nothing more than Shedeur to fail. And all you got to do is just look at the comments and it shows. So what do you think that game with Max Prosy going to look like since he is close to Prime's family? I expect he will do his job, but it's got to be odd. Tom Brady's going to speak about that when we get to Tom Brady, but this is what happens. So we can dap each other up. It's no different than any competition you win. When you go outside and you play basketball against your siblings, your cousins, y'all care about each other. Y'all love each other. Y'all still want to win. So in between those white lines, football is the only thing that matters. Outside of the white lines, I got love for you. So as soon as that kickoff happens, it's all football. And I'm treating you like any other quarterback is how I believe Max Crosby is going to view it. The game is going to end. 0's on the clock. I believe he's going to dap up Shedeur, give him his props, or say some encouraging words, and then it's right back to how it was before. So I think people make a big deal of I'm not saying you're doing this, Shanithia, but I think people who haven't played competitive sports make a big deal of people dapping each other up because I see that in the comments too. But they make a big deal of it. And what I realize is people just haven't been in enough competition to understand how competition works. So you get people saying that in the comments, and I'm just like, man, they never competed at anything. So that's Kurt Warner. They weren't feeling him. They thought he was being too nice. Do we want to go? Let's do this. Disclaimers get an opportunity to straddle the fence without committing. Talk to him. C.A. Anderson, it allows you to live in the gray area. That's why I don't know if y'all see it, but if you look at a description to my YouTube, if you look at any descriptions I put on my TikToks, the first line is eliminate the gray with Offtharecorddee. The reason why I picked that name was because if I'm going to speak on a subject, I'm not going to dance in the middle. I'm not going to ride the fence. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and that's what it's going to be. So people don't do that. And they're even asking Cam Ward about Shedeur's first start. Facts. Any way they can get a Shedeur quote. Anyway, Crosby is not going to be that big of a big deal. Then they're making it. Crosby is a good player, but I went and I was looking and I was like, their defense is not good. I heard people say that, oh, they're just going to they're going to blitz Shedeur on every play. I'm like, no, it has to be the fabric of what your team is. So if you have a team that always blitzes, you're going to blitz. If you have a team that doesn't always blitz, just because this opponent comes, you're not going to start blitzing. Tigers don't change their stripes. You are who you are. So people who just say, oh, they're going to blitz him on every play, these people have no idea what they're talking about. Jason Lloyd was saying that. I was like, y'all don't understand how sports work. You definitely don't understand how football works. They don't get it. Actually, I got it here. That made me think about something. I was looking into the Raiders' defense. So I looked at their defense on PFF, but then I looked at the defensive coverages that they run, and I have it here. Is it showing the Raiders? Let me see. Raiders right by the Cardinals. It's not showing the Raiders. I know what I could do. We're going to do it on the fly. We're going to do it on the fly. Because I want y'all to see this. I screenshot that. Here. Let me screenshot this real quick. I'm going to show y'all the defensive coverages that the Raiders use. And then I'm going to pull it up on the screen for y'all because people they just be talking crazy. Like, what are y'all saying? I don't know. They don't know what they be talking about. We're going to make this bigger. Give me just a second. I'm going to throw it in the multi-graphic. Shedeur, this is Josh Allen. I was outplayed by an unknown QB. My legs couldn't help me. The Texans defended me as the Ravens defended you. I must tell non-Middle America to stop it. Facts. He was out there struggling. I believe there are more people that are supporting Shedeur than who are against him. The mouthpieces just have a bigger platform, but we got Shedeur back. Talk to him. I agree with that. I knew he was going to show this today. Jonathan has been down day one, and he is calling them on their BS every time. Yeah. Y'all know. I told y'all how I feel about Emory Hunt. I told y'all how I feel about him. C.A. Anderson, of course, I'm going to stand on business. I told y'all how I feel about Emory Hunt. Emory Hunt puts in so much more work, so I'm going to listen to what he says. He might get blitz here and there, but not overwhelmingly like some are expecting. I agree with that. And then let me show y'all this. We're going to do it live. Let me drop this up real quick. I want y'all to see what defenses that they run a lot of. So I'm just going to show y'all real quick. I'm add this. Let me take this picture out. Let's add a new picture because people are just talking and they don't have any idea. And like I was saying, Tigers can't change their stripes. You can't just switch it up. If you don't blitz all year, you don't prepare for it. It's certain things you got to do behind the blitz. You got to be a man team, use a lot of man coverage. It's a lot of stuff you got to do. Or you got to be a zone blitzing team, which Baltimore Ravens are a zone blitzing team because they don't get pressure. Usually teams go to zone blitzes because they don't get pressure. They don't go to blitzing like that because they get pressure. Teams that get pressure don't have to blitz. So some of this is just people just don't understand the basics of football. So this is the first one I'm going to show y'all. I got it right here. We doing it live. Just a little quick screenshot for y'all. They started blitzing hard when Shedeur got in. That's a fact. They respected him. Crosby has a relationship with Dion and Shedeur for a very long time. He's going to do his job, but you fill in the blank. Shedeur will have opportunities. Watch. Facts. I agree with that. Totally agree with that. Totally agree. All right, so this is a chart. This is what defenses this is the coverages that defenses use. So I just want y'all to see it up here so y'all have an idea of when we get to the bottom when we actually show the Raiders. Because I wasn't able to show it on the whole screen. So the first one, cover zero. Cover zero is what the Ravens were doing to Shedeur once he got in the game. Cover one is a single high safety. Cover two is two deep safeties. I think this is cover two man. Let me see. Cover two man is two deep safeties man. Cover two 2 deep safety shell, cover 3, cover 4, etc. So now let's go to the Raiders. So the Raiders, cover 0, they run it 4% of the time. So that's not a lot. Cover 0 is what the Ravens were showing. The Ravens run that 7% of the time, which a lot of that probably got boosted by last week. So they're not just going to switch it up. They're not going to be able to. What the Raiders do is they run cover 1 man, which the Browns have been seeing a lot of. But the bulk of what the Raiders do is cover 2 zone. And actually, let me read. 76% of the time, the Raiders run cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4 zone. This is a zone team. This is not a blitz-heavy team. They blitz right in the middle of the pack. I believe they're ranked 21st in the rate of blitz. They're not going to just go to a team that blitzes every play. That's not how football works. You build up a philosophy of how you run your defense, and you stack upon that. These people that are saying that have no idea what they're talking about. No idea. So the more people talk, the more you realize you don't have to listen to them. We just had to do that live. I just had to show y'all. 76% of the time, they run 3 different zone coverages. Cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. That's what Shedeur is going to see. That's what he's going to see. So that other stuff, they just talking out the side of their neck. Let's get back to it. Let's see. Where we want to do we want to go Emory Hunt or do we want to go Daryl? Let's go Emory first. Let's go Emory. Now, as we get to some of these videos, we're going to play them longer because if it's a person that I care about what they're saying, we're going to listen to more of what they have to say. Emory Hunt, I care about what he says. We're going to let this thing ride out. We're going to listen to him.
They'll start.
It's going to be exciting because the one thing he has right now with the Browns that he's never had at Jackson State or at Colorado is a run game. And so the fact that he can play a balanced game, I'm excited to see what that looks like. That's something that we hadn't really seen before. But I expect him personally just to play within himself, play his game, do the easy stuff within the 20s, and inside the 20 where he really excelled in college, be Shedeur Sanders. So he can play the Dillon Gabriel game within the 20s, and then once you get inside the 20s, that's when you see him supersede and play above the X's and O's, and that's where Shedeur Sanders really stood out at Jackson State. He stood out there in Colorado, and he's going to stand out here, I believe, in the pros in that regard.
Yeah, it's something we've been talking about for the first little bit.
Dillon Gabriel struggles in the red zone. We saw that always since the summer. In the red zone, he struggles. That's where Shedeur can make the difference, getting touchdowns or your gifted opportunities inside the red zone. That's the difference that Shedeur can make. Dillon wasn't getting pressed like that because they didn't need to. He can beat himself. Cedric, do you remember I was talking about Minnesota and I was saying Brian Flores uses all these exotic defenses and all those things. And when I was listening to that game, watching it with y'all, calling it live, I was like, they are not trying to confuse Dillon Gabriel. They're not trying to confuse him. I was like, these teams are not putting it on film. They don't have to beat Dillon Gabriel. I called that out. Everybody noticed the difference when how Baltimore played in the first half versus how Baltimore played in the second half. Dillon Gabriel couldn't move the ball when they weren't blitzing. They weren't disguising things. There was no point in showing your hand. They do more when Shedeur is in because they expect more out of him and they view him on a higher level than Dillon Gabriel. That's why they change it. That's why they do it. If blitzing is key to winning games, then all 32 teams will do it. Ravens only knew how BYU stopped Shedeur, I think. Facts. Do y'all remember when the Ravens defensive coordinator said we prepared for Shedeur as well? It sounded crazy in the moment, but then it looked like he was right. So blitzing, you can attack blitzes. If people aren't going to blitz every down, you can attack blitzes. So it's not, you can't just go up there and blitz every down. That's not the way to win. I want y'all to remember this. If you don't remember anything about football, when you're watching a game, on any level, everything is give and take. Nothing works 100% of the time. Nothing. If you run cover 1, you're giving up something. You run cover 2, you're giving up something. Cover 3, you're giving up something. You blitz, you're giving up something. Cover 0, no safety in the middle of the field. You're giving up something. It's up to the offense to exploit what the defense is giving up. So people who speak in absolutes about football, they don't know what they're talking about. That's just it. It's no other way I can explain that to you besides they don't know what they're talking about. Everything is give and take. That's why the game is so intriguing. That's why people call it a chess match, because everything is give and take. So these people that speak like this, just disregard them, y'all. just disregard them, y'all. Just disregard them. Athletes play the game, and afterwards they shake hands. Ms. Brown, that's a fact. Yep, blitz percentage went down 20%. It's a fact. You don't change your stripes. That's helped him and hurt him. I only know baseball jargon. Though Colorado lost to Kansas State on a wheel route, Travis was looking in the backfield, and the tight end ran a straight route. If we win that game, we play Texas. That's a fact. That is good observation. That's a good observation. So even though Travis is that good, him looking in the backfield trying to cheat on the play, that's what they call it, cheating on the play. Him looking in the backfield gave them an opportunity for something to open up. That is the give and take of football. That's the give and take of it. Yep, the Ravens coordinator did say that. Shedeur has issues handling the blitz. I would ask you this question, Jeffrey. What's going on, Jeffrey? But I would ask you this question. How have the Cleveland Browns handled blitzes this entire season? That's the question. Just a question. I'm going to give you some time to respond. How have the Cleveland Browns handled blitzes this entire year? Shedeur only played 2 quarters. That's the question. If the Cleveland Browns weren't able to handle the blitz before Shedeur got in, how can we put that all on Shedeur? Just got to ask the questions. Just going to ask the questions. That's it. I bet that strategy won't work round 2 when they play Shedeur. It will not. There's opportunities there. There's opportunities there. Opportunities are there. It's a way you can attack a team that's blitzing you. You can attack them. You got to get to it. When we watch those playback, Marie, you got to put that emphasis on it sometimes. That Colorado versus Arizona State stream is going to be lit. Facts, Beast. Hey, we get into it. We are getting to the meat and potatoes of the college football season. So we got to be more flexible. We got to get out here. We got to see more. So Beast threw me the alley-oop as always. Beast always coming through for your boy. Shout out to Beast as always. I'll be live streaming. We're doing a watch party. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Colorado, Arizona State, Colorado, Arizona State. Watch it on your TV. Have me on your phone. We're going to go through it. I'm very excited to see Juju. Very excited to see him in his first start at home. We're going back-to-back this weekend, y'all. We're going back-to-back. Saturday night stream. Sunday afternoon stream. We got some excitement. It's going to be real. So make sure y'all tap in. Maurice, what's going on? Good morning, my brother. Stop with Dillon. The media and the fans of Stefanski have ruined that boy's nerves. This 2025 season for any QB other than Shedeur is brutal. Larry Graham says, can you handle it? Graham Central Station. Can you handle it? That's it. Bad with Joe Flacco, then better with Dillon Gabriel. There you go. So if it went from bad, what would you say is the next thing after, or what's after bad? So if it went to bad, is it below average? Is it average? Where's that next line? Because if that's the case, how can I put it on Shedeur? I can't put it on Shedeur then. I got to put it on the team. I got to put it on the offensive line. Shedeur only played 2 quarters. If we went from bad, I would say from bad, you're definitely not going from bad to good. So if it was bad, you probably went to below average maybe, or average. It's the closest you can get. So Juju gonna ball out. Yep. I appreciate that y'all like the sound effects. I appreciate that. That's a touch that I got that idea from people who don't stream about sports. And I was just like, man, I like that. I got to roll with that. So I like that y'all like it. So shout out to y'all. Do you notice how things that happen when the Browns are almost mirror things that happen with Colorado? Yes. I called that out a couple weeks ago, from the QB competition to one QB not being able to handle the competition, to what seems to be not the best quarterback in either situation being the starter from the beginning. So it was a lot of similarities that I've highlighted, and then also the same level of excitement. So I think it's definitely some parallels there. Sunday is television on CBS. Let me tell you. Let me look it up real quick. I'll look it up for you real quick, Dawn. Okay, I'm confused. Let's talk Caden Davis. He was elevated to the practice squad. Does that mean he wasn't on the team? He was cut. I looked it up on Google. Has he been practicing with 12? Caden Davis, I believe he was on the practice squad. Correct me if I'm wrong. Marie, did it say he's been elevated to the practice squad or from the practice squad? Because usually that elevation happens. You get elevated to the 53-man roster, but they kind of usually don't say that until they don't say if you've been elevated until Saturday, I believe. So let me know which one it said. Let me find this. Let me find a channel for the game on Sunday real quick while I'm going through it. Let's go NFL. Because Shedeur always had issues handling the blitz going back to Jackson State. I would just have to disagree with you. I have another question. The next question is, did he handle the blitz on first down the same way he handled on third and fourth down? Because to me, if you don't have a good to the practice squad, that's why I'm confused. Okay, to the practice squad from let me look it up. Let me get this answer for Dawn, and then I got you. I'm gonna look it up for you so we can be clear about it. All right, Sunday's game. Yes, that is correct. Dawn, Sunday's game is 4:05. It's gonna be a CBS showing. CBS. So that is correct. See, I kind of disagree. I disagree there, Jeffrey. I don't think he always had issues handling the blitz. I don't know if you can really judge how a person handled the blitz if you also at the same time got to say they didn't have the best offensive line. I don't know how you could grade that, but also the stimuli. Opposing the team's stimulus becomes elevated when playing against Shedeur. BYU is excited to defeat Shedeur. This year, Salters made bad plays against BYU. We were ahead. Yeah, that's facts. Caden Salter is off balance to me in his play. Elevated, then sent back down, Maria. I think he was brought up for special teams this past week. Yeah, because I thought he got elevated last week. So you might be right. To the practice squad. That's why I'm confused. Okay. I think Zedrick cleared it up. He was elevated before. They sent him back to the practice squad. I think that's what it was. But I don't think that Shedeur Sanders, I was holding on to the ball because of him through where Kurt Warner did a great breakdown of what happened. Yeah. Jeffrey, you were here on Wednesday when we was breaking it down, and I was going to ask you, do you remember that play where you said just throw it 101 to David Njoku? Kurt Warner was like, it's not there on that play where David Njoku had a sit-down route. Let me look this up. Let's see what they said about Caden Davis. Okay, thank you. All right, man. Shout out to you. Let me copy this. Thank you for doing that for me because I was just about to look it up. All right, let's see. All right, Browns reuniting. Let me show y'all. Let's go here. And let's put this down. Okay. Browns reuniting wide receiver who Shedeur Sanders has had comfort level with. Let's go through it. Browns signed Caden Davis back to the practice squad. Shedeur has a comfortable level with him, so I expect him to be elevated for the Raiders game. Sanders connected in the preseason. I remember that. I don't think he's good. This is a weird way. This is a weird way to Browns have signed him back to the practice squad. Okay, I see where your confusion is coming from. I see where it's coming from. That makes sense. He has been practicing with the Browns, but sometimes you will get taken off of the team just to maneuver. What's the best word for it? To maneuver the 53-man roster, and that's what it seems like. So he has been practicing. Let's see if he was active. I think he was active in the last couple of weeks, which would mean that he's been playing. So let me do this real quick. Actually, it's on X. I know it's on X. Let's go to the Browns on X, and then I'm gonna let you know. So he could get elevated Saturday. Yes, that is correct. He could be elevated Saturday. Let me find it real quick on X to see if he was. I can show you all this. The Browns. I can show you all if he was active when they put it out. They put this out. They put out a lot of media. I know y'all see how much they push Shedeur out here. Where are they? November 18th. Okay, so we got more answers. We've placed Dom Jones on injured reserve and waived Caden Davis. So that's why they had to re-sign him. There it goes. So November 18th, that was after the game. So this is just salary cap things that they were doing. Man, I don't like how this is showing me. But I can read it to y'all. Caden Davis, or Jones appeared in 8 games. Davis has appeared in 2 games this season. Okay. So he has been with the team. He's played in 2 games this year. He's been on the practice squad. They put Dom Jones on injured reserve. They waived Caden Davis, and then they re-signed him back to the practice squad. So this is all just salary cap things they're doing. Oh, no problem, Emory. You know I got you. Yeah, this was so he could get elevated Saturday. Yeah, he could get elevated Saturday. He could. We don't need to be here. Let's get back to it. Let's go here. Let's get back to Emory Hunt.
Bit of the show here is, will he revert back to what we think Stefanski wants him to be, which is more like Dillon Gabriel, or is he going to be able to be himself? Do you feel like when you watch on Sunday, you'll see classic Shedeur?
Yeah, you'll see classic Shedeur. And the thing is, here's the ironic twist about this ball game, is because they can play the Dillon Gabriel game and win this ball game strictly off the run game and the defense, because that's where the Raiders will have some issues dealing with the Browns defense and also dealing with the consistency of this run game. Now, when you add the ability to push the ball at the intermediate to deep levels as opposed to short to intermediate, that's where Shedeur Sanders can help extend this game and help these guys score 20 points offensively, as opposed to what we've seen from them under Gabriel in this offense, which has been sort of truncated in terms of it's a short to short intermediate as opposed to an intermediate to deep passing game. So when you have the ability to expand the passing game, you kind of lift that umbrella up a little bit on the defense, which allows you then to run the football rather well. Play action pass will be a much more vital and critical and successful, and you have a threat now at quarterback that can push that ball deep, which changes how you play defense against the Browns.
Emory, I'm not going to surprise you here. The discourse around Shedeur has taken over the actual football of Shedeur, with people that don't like him, we call them haters, and the people that just unapologetically love him. Supporters, I'm curious to take people all the
I agree with you, Cedric. I was reading your comments. I believe we're getting the full experience Saturday all the way to the walk-in. I totally agree with that. They're going to milk this thing. They're going to milk it.
way back to the draft. One of the knocks from Shedeur's is, well, he's a 5th-round pick. Is that where you had, in terms of his draft value, where did you have Shedeur and why?
He was my number 1 quarterback in the class, and I compared him to Joe Burrow. And the reason why I compared him to Burrow, we saw that manifest itself in the preseason, both with Burrow and with Shedeur, right? We saw Shedeur not knowing when to let a dead play die, took a crazy sack. Then we saw Burrow later on that week against the Washington Commanders in the preseason, took a crazy sack where he held the ball for like 9 seconds instead of throwing it away and took like a 15-yard loss. So that was the Shedeur part negative that I compared Burrow to. The positive was that when the game is on the line, when you need those gotta-have-it moments, that's where Shedeur really excelled. And we saw that at Jackson State time and time again, playing high-level football, winning back-to-back championships. And we saw it at Colorado when he was able to turn that team around in just one short offseason. But my thing is, people are always fascinated. When you talk about 5th-round pick, he's not a 5th-round talent. He went in the 5th round. That's like saying Isaiah Bond is an undrafted talent. No. He was a 1st or 2nd-round talent that just happened to go undrafted because of unforeseen issues. But these are the same people that had Shedeur Sanders as day 1 pick or a 2nd-round talent. Now, these are the same ones that are telling us that the 2026 class is going to be great with Nussmeier, Beck, Arch Manning, Cade Klubnik, Lenore Sellers. Not one of these same people mentioned Moore, Simpson, and Mendoza. So why would we listen to those same people when they just told us that their evaluation of talent ain't worth the paper it's printed on? So to me, it's okay to get a quarterback wherever you get him, just as long as he can play, because we've seen it done with Jalen Hurts, Andy Dalton, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Kaepernick, Purdy, Cousins, Favre, Moon, Brady, Derek Carr, Montana, Boomer Esiason, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, Matt Hasselbeck, Ken Anderson, Jeff Garcia, Cunningham, Warner, Fouts. Can I go on? Because it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that a dude just went in the 5th round, can't play. So just because he went where he went, that just cancels out everything that you watched him with your own 2 eyes in college at 2 different universities.
Okay, so what's the story on Monday if it doesn't work out on Sunday? And you know this is coming from someone like myself that has defended Shedeur the entire time.
Bullshit Porter.
And so I'm not trying to put you on a spot. But I am curious of your angle on it. I'm curious of if it doesn't go well on Sunday, what do you think the reasoning behind that will be, or what do you think your answer will be?
Here's the thing. We saw it didn't go particularly well in 38 plays, and people already have said he can't play in the NFL off 38 snaps. So nothing will change regardless of the outcome because the goalposts are already starting to move. I've seen some people say, there's nothing he can do in these last games that would stop the Browns from taking a quarterback in the 1st round. Like, okay, bro, like you even see the rest of the season and you already moving the goalposts. We should be the most in-shape country with the way folks move goalposts around, right? So, it don't matter if he throws for 400 yards or they go out there and he plays an elongated game like he played against the Baltimore Ravens where it's just sloppy. It's his first start, and you got to offer him the same grace that you offered Dillon Gabriel in his first start and allow him to grow. And then after the season, when he has his 6 or 7 games, and you compare those with Dillon Gabriel's 6 or 7 games, and you come to a conclusion, okay, well, maybe we can build around these 2 guys, or maybe we can go into the draft or go into free agency and get someone. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater after one full start of his first full season, first full week of practice as a starter, just because you don't like the guy. I just think that's just asinine. Maybe I'm the crazy one that's trying to keep it football when everybody else around me trying to do it the other way.
Emory Hunt, owner of Football Game Plan, CBS Sports HQ as well on the fan hotline here, breaking down.
All right, we're going to pause for the calls, get to some comments. Where did I leave off? I think I leave off here. At Jackson State, Shedeur was 23-3. The stimuli fact: North Carolina Central and South Carolina State, both teams defeated Jackson State at the Celebration Bowl. However, Shedeur threw 50 or more passes. I meant Sunday. Hey, they're gonna be showing them Saturday too. I hate Nick Shedeur-isms. I don't like that either. I don't like that. One thing I appreciate about guys in the media like Emory is that he doesn't move off his spot. All these pundits let the NFL dictate how they feel. Facts. That was a very good point he brought up there. Isaiah Bond was not a 1st-round talent. He was a 3rd-round talent. Blazing speed, can't do the other receiver stuff. More semantics. I thought he said 1st or 2nd-round talent, but okay. Yeah, same grace. 42 QBs since 1999, and the Browns are already talking about drafting QB in 2026. Facts. Why should we listen to them? He said the most shape in the country. Yeah. Even your boy right here, he said he holds onto the ball too long at times. Yeah, but I don't think that's the full knock on him when you watch the film. So as I was listening to him, I pulled up something. So I pulled up PFF. So we're gonna pivot a little bit because this is more towards the conversation. Let's get this off. Let's get this off. So this is more towards the conversation here. This is Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the way that people speak on time to throw, they act as if Shedeur is so far behind Dillon Gabriel on time to throw. I'm gonna make this larger for y'all so y'all can see it. You know, don't believe me. You know, believe your own eyes on what they're telling you. So this is what we're gonna do. Let's go here. This is PFF. TTT. That is time to throw. This is time to throw. So Dillon Gabriel's time to throw was 2.73 seconds. Shedeur Sanders' time to throw was 3.31. So I gotta ask y'all a question. I got a good question for y'all. Really good question. This is going to be a series of questions, so just be ready. Just be ready. It's going to be a series of questions. I'm going to pause in between. I'm going to give y'all some time to respond because I know there is a slight delay. Now that you see the actual time to throw numbers, 2.73 and 3.31, based on the film breakdown and looking at the style of plays that they ran, is this a very big difference between their time to throw based on the type of plays that the Browns called when they were in the game? That's the question. Based on the film, is there a very big difference? So the way people say Shedeur holds onto the ball, you would think it was above 4 seconds. You would think it would be a whole lot longer than Dillon Gabriel. You would think that. So this is why, me personally, I'm pushing back on the time to throw because after we watched the film, we watched the breakdown, they call more pass plays upfield with no answers short if they send pressure for Shedeur than they did with Dillon Gabriel. So now that you have the concrete numbers, is there a big difference? They did. They ran multiple screens. They ran multiple screens with Dillon Gabriel. They ran wide receiver screens. Shedeur knew what he was doing. Dillon just threw it away. Now that you see the numbers, the way people are describing this, you would think Shedeur was holding the ball for 7 seconds. The way they describe it, it's not the way. It's not the way that people talk about it. Sometimes you just got to go to the facts, and then the facts will tell you the answer. So one of my things is people just keep repeating the same narratives over and over and over and over again. Everybody keep competing them. Everybody keep competing. Keep just repeating the same narratives. When you look at the actual stats, do the stats agree with this time to throw thing that people are saying? If they don't agree with it, when people shut it down, you can't get upset when they shut it down. You can't get upset with it. If every play they call for Dillon Gabriel is a 3-step drop, and then they start calling 5-step drops and 7-step drop play actions for Shedeur, how can the time to throw be the same? So sometimes everybody doesn't have to agree with me. Everybody doesn't have, but the stats don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. This is what the numbers say. That's what the numbers say. So there go the numbers. There go the numbers. Tell me what you think. Because I think the way people just keep repeating these same things, they're just not accurate. They're just not accurate. That's all it is. No, and Dillon got sacked 6 times in 2 different games, so it doesn't matter. Talk to him. Because what people people are playing a fine line. People want to take what people did in college, the negative, and bring it forward to the NFL. But any negative from other players in college, they're not talking about it. Because when you talk about the positives for Shedeur from college, they say it's college. It doesn't matter. So how do you bring it up? 3.3 is close to the end. Just off the top of my head, I'm just gonna let you know, off the top of my head, some of the highest is over 4 seconds, and the over 4 seconds is a person who was an MVP candidate or won an MVP and was sacked 8 times last night. So just off the top of my head, without even looking it up, I know that this is the longest time to throw that Josh Allen has had in his career. It's higher than his rookie year. So just all good, Don. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for being here. All good, Don. I appreciate you. If the talking point is one thing, then you look at the tape and then you look at the numbers and they don't match the talking point just got to go somewhere else because it's not valid in that situation. I saw someone add in his preseason numbers with this half to make it worse. It was 4.24, including preseason, a worthless point to talk. That's what it is. That's what it is. Those are talking point that they only want to apply to Shedeur. If you want to pass the ball around 25 yards, it's going to take more time to run those routes. That's just it. It's a simple concept. That's why I asked the difference in how the type of plays that they called. Because when people talk about time to throw, if everything I do is a 3-step drop, that is totally different. That is totally different than I'm calling a 5-step drop because I can attack the whole field. A quarterback who can attack the entire field is totally different than a quarterback who can only attack the left side and outside. How many deep plays are you going to call to one side of the field and to the outside? You're not going to get that many opportunities because the big difference is that where the hash marks are located from college to the NFL are totally different. So it's harder to attack one side of the field because you don't have as much field to work with. That's the big difference. So that's just, I know it seemed like we went on and on about this, but that's one of those things where people just ride out the things and they kind of don't match. So we just got to put it out there. Let's get to Daryl real quick because this is the person, I'm not going to play a lot of this just to warn y'all. I find this funny what he is saying. Listen to this.
Hello, boys. He's brought to you by Scheibin Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. How you think it's going to go for us on Sunday, Daryl?
I'm pretty optimistic.
You're optimistic? Whoa! Why are you optimistic?
For my gut is feeling good about this one. I'm pretty optimistic. I watched the Raiders Monday night against Dallas.
So, do y'all remember I played Daryl and Daryl said the team is so bad the quarterback don't matter? Do y'all remember he said that when he did not want them to go to Shedeur and he thought Shedeur couldn't make a difference? Now today, you telling me you feel optimistic when they have a different quarterback? Come on, man. What we doing? The whole time I told you it would be different with a different quarterback, different play caller. You see how this go? You see how people do? I always tell y'all, and it was so good. Shanithia, actually, I'm going to give you props. Shanithia is the one who tagged me with this, and I kept using it, and I appreciate her for pointing it out. I always started with football, so I started with football first. And I always told y'all I would not accept it's nothing you could do better. It's always something you could do on the football field. And he was saying, oh, no, it's so bad. It's no offensive talent. That's another thing that people are running with. It's no offensive talent. It's not going to make a difference. That's what they're saying. But now you're telling me you feel optimistic about it? Why? It's so bad. A quarterback change isn't going to matter. A different play caller is not going to matter. These guys, they were never being honest in their conversation from the beginning. They were never being honest. I'm gonna give him about 30 more seconds, and we gonna keep it moving.
A train wreck. So, yeah, I'm feeling good about the Browns' defense's chances to make some plays, and then I just think that they're gonna find a way to get Shedeur comfortable, and hopefully they're able to put some things together.
How much would this do for the coaching staff if they're able to in 3 days make Shedeur comfortable and confident and ready to roll in an entire NFL game? I know that Vegas is bad, and I know that we wouldn't be through the woods here, but they would have to stand for something, wouldn't it, with everybody?
Yeah, and organizationally too. At this point, you're looking for anything, right, that resembles hope on the offensive side of things. So if they can find a way to get him comfortable, if they can find a way to help him be productive out there, put together multiple scoring drives, preferably touchdown drives, can you get him close to 250 yards passing?
All right, so they want to get a coaching staff props. The same coaching staff that didn't prepare him by giving him first-team reps, even though he was the backup. The same coaching staff that went before the year and told everybody who would listen this was going to be a red shirt year, he wasn't good enough to play. The same coaching staff who has consistently had a bottom half of the league offense as an offensive-minded coach, who in the last 2 years has had some of the worst offensive ratings as an offensive coach. That's the same coaching staff we're going to give props to, who are pushing Dillon Gabriel out there when everybody saw his limitations. The same coaching staff that got to see them in the offseason and told us that Dillon Gabriel's height didn't show up on tape. The same offensive coaching staff who told us Dillon Gabriel was athletic. The same offensive coaching staff that told us Dillon Gabriel was a better processor. The same offensive coaching staff that told us that he was markedly better than Shedeur. Those are the people we're going to give props to? Come on, man. These people got to go.
Stop it. Get some help.
They got to go. Shedeur goes out there and ball out against all odds. Shedeur is playing against the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, and the whole organization that don't believe in him. And I'm just going to be the one to say it. I know people don't want to say that, but if before you take a snap, they say you're going to red shirt, they do not believe in you. He playing against the Browns right now. He playing against the Browns and the Raiders. So, no, they don't get props for this. Do you get props for not being able to recognize that he was the better player from the beginning? No, you get no props. You don't get no props. It ain't working. We ain't going for it. Go somewhere else with that. No, you get no props. We're not stringing this thing along. I want you to be decisive. I want you to take the information, present it to you, and make the best decision in the moment. I don't want you to make a 2020 hindsight decision when your back is up against the wall. Dillon walked to you at halftime. He was struggling in the game and said, I got concussion symptoms. And then now we're going to give you props. No props. What you get is you get to lose your job.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
You get to lose your job because you have mishandled this entire situation. You get to lose your job. That's what you get for Christmas. We're not giving you a lump of coal. We're not sending Santa Claus to the house. You get to lose your job. That's what you get. You get no props. None. Not doing it. Not happening. Not happening. No way. That's enough of Daryl. Let's go to Tom Brady real quick so we can get to this Cam Newton thing.
The guys ahead of me were getting more opportunities.
Because the Cam Newton thing is very good, and we're not going to let them do this. Everybody know he had confidence. Everybody knows Shedeur has confidence. So, get up out of here. We pay you to make the decisions in the moment, not to make decisions after the fact. Jeffrey, I know how you feel. They all should sit. They all should red shirt. I think that if you have a stable veteran in place, you can do that. If you do not have a stable veteran in place, you can't run that philosophy. The Browns don't have that. So, no. We ain't letting that slide. The funny thing is, it sounds like I'm just saying that, but that's what was reported. Dillon Gabriel's concussion symptoms were self-reported at halftime. Let's hear from Tom Brady on the reps.
Than I was. There was a certain amount of repetitions in practice. The starter would get 20, the backup would get 10, and I would get 2. And I'd go in and I'd say, well, how?
Hold on. As a third stringer, you was getting reps? Let's roll it back. How did the breakdown go, Tom? Let's roll it back, y'all.
There was a certain amount of repetitions in practice. The starter would get 20, the backup would get 10, and I would get 2. And I'd go in and I'd say, well,
do we believe who is arguably called or recognized as the greatest quarterback of all time, who started off as a fourth-string quarterback, very similar to somebody I know? He said the starter would get 20, backup would get 10, third string, he would get 2. This is the guy that won 6 Super Bowls for an organization that everybody tried to emulate. Everybody tried to emulate this organization so much so that Kevin Stefanski is trying to be like Bill Belichick with how he answers questions in the media. That's how much they try to be like them. The problem is you didn't copy the way they prepare guys to play. You didn't copy that part. So I'm just going to tell y'all, this is how I do things. If you want to follow the path of a loser, you're just going to be the next loser. If you want to follow the path of a winner, you put yourself in position to be the next winner. So all these backup quarterbacks who spent their whole career as a backup, could never get to be the man. Am I listening to those guys? Am I listening to the Emmanuel Achos of the world who acts like being a backup was the greatest thing ever and then walked away from the game because they couldn't cut it? Am I listening to those guys, or am I listening to Tom Brady? Y'all just let me know. If you want to know about quarterback play, if you want to know about getting the most out of yourself, who are you listening to? The career backups, the backups that run out of the back of the touchdown, didn't even recognize where they was at on the field and still running when the play is over? Are we listening to those guys? Or are we listening to Tom Brady? Because I told y'all this before. When it comes to the levels that people have done this thing at, I'm always going to the best, and I want to know how the best did it. Don't tell me how the person who we not going to remember in the history of the NFL did something. I don't care. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that the Browns know how to prepare a quarterback. They have 42 of them since 99. They don't know how to prepare quarterbacks. I cannot listen to them when it comes to the quarterback. If you want to know who I listen to, LeBron had a tagline, roll with the winners. I listen to the winners. The only thing the losers can tell me is what they gained from their experience in losing. They cannot tell me how to win. Unfortunately, because they never done it. That's what it is. So when it comes to the reps, the Brady Quinns, the Brian Hoyers, the Dan Orlowskis, whichever McNown you want to name, the Luke, the Josh, the Colt McCoys, when you bring up these guys and they want to tell you how things go in the NFL, I don't care. I don't care. Don't matter to me. They don't know how to win. The winners tell you how to win. If anybody needs somewhere to point people to how to view these circumstances, all you got to do is look at Tom Brady. That's all you got to do. Tom Brady wasn't the fastest. He didn't have the strongest arm. He wasn't the highest recruit. He wasn't the first quarterback drafted in his class. He worked at it years. He worked at it. Jeffrey, we got questions. Am I asking Joe Thomas how to be a quarterback, or am I asking Joe Thomas how to be the best left tackle? Remember, I got questions on questions on questions. If we are trying to determine how to prepare someone to become the best quarterback, I'm going to Tom Brady. I'm not going to Joe Thomas. If we are trying to figure out how to prepare the best left tackle, I'm going to Joe Thomas. It's a very, very clear distinction there. It's there. They there. I didn't just wake up 10 minutes ago. I prepared for this. Tom Brady also said something good later on in this interview. Let me get to it.
You talked about that one moment where I said, wow, I can really do this. So think about it. I had been in all this competition at Michigan. I had Brian Greasy ahead of me lead us to a national championship. I had one of the top recruits in the country.
Jeffrey, I hear you, and I see you trying to fight back, but my question still remains the same. If I want to know how to win, I'm going to the winner. I'm not going to people who haven't won. That's just it. Any person you name, I'm going to the person who did it at the highest level. That's where I'm going first. Any person after that, they can fall in line. I'm going to the person who is the best at it. I'm not going to the 25th best company to figure out what they do the best. I'm going to the best company. It's simple. I'm going to the winners to learn more. That's where I'm going. Especially somebody did it to the age of 45. Tom Brady has records that nobody's going to break. Nobody's going to break some of the records Tom Brady has. I'm going to Tom Brady. I'm not saying the other people don't have value. They don't mean as much as the winners. I understand it. You have a right to feel how you feel. I'm just reaffirming how I feel. If it comes to quarterback play, it's a hierarchy, and I'm going to the winners. And Tom Brady is the winningest winner when it comes to quarterback, so I'm going to him. That's it.
Country, Drew Henson, and I was staring those guys down every day. Here I come to the Patriots, and I get drafted, and I'm fourth on the depth chart, and I finally see Drew Bledsoe throw the ball for the first time. And in my very naive, competitive way, because he signed a 10-year, $100 million contract with the New England Patriots when I was making $185,000, I looked at him and I go, I could throw the ball better than that. Which I was the only one on the field who saw that. And I wasn't, but I had a belief that I could if I worked.
I heard what you just said. Everybody was bringing up confidence. They want to give the coaching staff credit for giving Shedeur confidence. Shedeur confidence has never been broken. Shedeur said it after the game. His confidence wasn't broken. He's going to be him. Tom Brady showed up, 6th-round draft pick, 4th on the depth chart. He looked at the quarterback that they just signed to a $100 million contract back in the day, 10-year, $100 million contract. He saw him throw one pass and said, I'm better than him. This is who I'm going to. It's there. It's funny. Shanithia, I played that where you said he talks about people don't know what they're doing and they're developing QBs. I played that. Because that's when I started to recognize people didn't want to listen to Tom Brady. And I was like, y'all are crazy. He got the blueprint. He did it the longest. He did it at the highest level. Why wouldn't you listen to Tom Brady? Tom Brady said, no, we should grade who is developing the quarterbacks. Because if a quarterback goes into a situation where they've never developed a quarterback, how can we expect more from them? Nobody wanted to talk about it. We brought it up. So this is where we're going to go. Find me the person who was not the best at their craft that now teaches people how to be the best, but they were never the best. It's there. Maurice, you see it. Who does that sound like? That's the level of confidence you have to be great. That's a fact. That's the reason why I showed y'all that clip. He came into the league, 6th-round draft pick. He was slow. Everybody talked about his tape early on. And when they got there, he looked one throw, I'm better than him. That's the confidence you need. I know somebody who has confidence to that level. And y'all want to know something else? I also know somebody who doesn't have confidence to that level. I'll let y'all find out who it is. Jesus is King Almighty. What's going on? There's not one instance in the last 26 years where you can say the Browns got it right developing a QB. Talk to him. And that's who I'm supposed to give grace to when it comes to determining if they know what to do to develop QBs? No way. No way, no how. No way. Big Dog 2018, Mr. Ninja Turtle Hand himself. Not you, but who pinned that phrase, Ninja Turtle Hand. I don't know what is up. Today, people's names are different. But that's Big Dog 2018, y'all. Shout out to you. I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, but they switching people's names up on me today. Mediocre people can't understand that level of greatness. Facts. I know it's you. That's Big Dog 2018 right there. I know it's you. What's good, brother? How you feeling today, man? Remember the other day I showed y'all that clip, Nick Saban? Mediocre people hate. Mediocre people hate who? Who do mediocre people hate? Let me show y'all real quick. Let's get it. Before we get to Cam, we going to get to Cam. Cam has a great breakdown, but let me show y'all. Nick Saban says mediocre people hate these people. Let me go to it real quick. I'm going to show y'all. Let's show y'all really quick. I want y'all to hear it.
I've told you 3 times.
Let's get to it. Let me show y'all. We're going to get to Cam. I promise. It's a long stream, but hopefully y'all ride it with me. Let's go. All right.
Times already today.
Why are you so tough on people?
Well, I don't know if that's fair that I'm really tough on people.
I
We
appreciate
create
you.
a standard for how we want to do things. And everybody's got to buy into that standard, or you really can't have any team chemistry. You know, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people.
I've told you 3 times already today.
Why are you so tough on people?
Well, I don't know if that's fair that I'm really tough on people. We create a standard for how we want to do things. And everybody's got to buy into that standard, or you really can't have any team chemistry. You know, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people.
Talk to him. I show y'all people at the highest level achieving, and I show y'all their mindset. It's for a reason. A lot of people listen to people who don't have the mindset to ever get to the level of greatness. And we listen to them like they have value, which they have value in the world. But when it comes to certain subjects, how much value can you really bring when you only got so far with your achievements? That's what I'm saying. So y'all see it from Nick Saban. If y'all notice, I started showing y'all coaches who are better. I started showing y'all players who were widely regarded as GOATs in their category, how their mindset is. That wasn't a coincidence. I showed y'all that so y'all can see it, so y'all can hear it. So the first thing I do is when I hear somebody who doesn't speak a certain way, I know that we got to put them in that mediocre category. I know that's not somebody who strives for greatness. That's why I show y'all the people, and we just go back to it. So that's Nick Saban. Mediocre people don't like high achievers. Detroit Gemini was right on it. I just had to bring it back. Let's get to Cam Newton.
You want to know who his quarterbacks were?
Talk to me.
Joe Flacco, Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Cam, why in the hell would you go down this whole man's resume?
Hey, what's this?
Make your point.
Yeah, come on now.
Let me get to what you said, Zedric. Can you imagine if he publicly said that back in 2000? Would have gotten laughed out the room, just like 12 said he is capable of being better than the QB play around the league is 3. Facts. He always felt that way. Every day Tom Brady woke up, he felt that way. He felt that way every single day. Every single day he felt that way. He can say it now because they can't shoot it down. He can say it now because they can't take it. They can't take his greatness away from him. Doggy Bone came in and said, "What's good?"
I got money.
Everybody put Doggy Bone in the chat. Doggy Bone, what's going on down there in South Carolina? What's good, my brother? What's going on? Go for 2 interceptions, 8 sack, 1 sack, minus 18 yards. Missed me with rookie Shedeur after 2 quarters of play, playing another QB game plan. Talk to him, man. Talk to him. Big dog. All these QBs getting sacked and throwing interceptions. Every QB in the NFL right now. Talk to him, man. That's what happens. The problem is they wanted to use things with Shedeur to knock him as if nobody else did it, but everybody does. Everybody do it. So if you're gonna knock him, you got to knock everybody, but they won't. They won't. Shout out to you, Doggy Bone. When did Tom Brady do that interview? Is he low-key supporting Shedeur like that? That interview is from 2 years ago, Marie. It's from 2 years ago. Let me go. Let me show you real quick. That's not the right one. Let me show you. That full interview.
We're lit in the digital age now. That's not.
Let me pause it. Yeah, that's from 2 years ago. Let me show you. Just in case you want to watch the full thing, this was a really good interview by him. This is the title right here. It's the PBD podcast. Tom Brady opens up. 7th ring motivation. M. Jared Belichick. Enemy's style of leadership. So, very, 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 very good interview right there. Lamar got sacked 4 times and he a 2-time MVP. Facts. Is there. How do you expect 12 to go out there and be perfect? It's going to be a different game this Sunday to watch. I agree. It's part of the game, Detroit Gemini. That's a fact. Latalia, what's going on? Yeah, Doggy Bone down there in South Carolina. Davis Mills outplayed Josh Allen last night. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. He led his team to victory. Davis Mills, that's his 3rd victory in a row. Sometimes you're not wrong just early. When the game speaks, they'll see. Oh, my goodness. Man, oh, man. I like that so much, Cedric. Sometimes you're not wrong. You're just early. When the game speaks, they'll see. That is a fact. That is a fact. You're not wrong. A lot of stuff, if y'all notice, a lot of stuff I said and showed y'all, I was just early. But everybody sounded like me. It's to the point where now I would look crazy if I pointed out every time somebody says something I said 4 months ago. It would be crazy. I would look crazy. Uh-oh.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Oh my God! Wow!
Everybody drop Shanithia. Drop Shanithia in the chat. Drop Shanithia in the chat.
I got money.
D, just dropping a tip for a great service. All these QBs not fulfilling their potential this season need to thank Shedeur for taking all this media attention, especially Cam Ward. Woo, woo, woo. I'm just going to let y'all know. When the season is over, the spotlight that's going to be put on Cam Ward as the number 1 overall pick is going to be crazy. Shedeur is the story. People can't even get to how bad some of these other quarterbacks are playing. They can't even get to it because they're only talking about Shedeur. They're only talking about Shedeur. This offseason, they're going to go back and look at the numbers, and they're going to be like, oh, my goodness. They're going to be like, what happened? Because they was only talking about Shedeur, especially when they start watching that Cam Ward tape, when they start looking at Cam Ward, and they're going to say, he's still looking for the big play like he did in college. He's still throwing across his body to the middle of the field. They're going to say this stuff. Shedeur, he been covering up a lot of people. They'll compare his stats to Shedeur. They're going to try to defend him. And he's going to whoop Cam later, too. He told him he was better than him before the draft. Facts. I remember that. It's going to show. Davis Mills might be better than C.J. Stroud because C.J. Stroud bails out of the pocket and everything. C.J. Stroud he came into the league with a better offensive line. A very big mistake Houston, Texas made was getting rid of their left tackle, trading their left tackle, and going with a rookie. If you look at their offensive line, it's not the same. Every year their offensive line has got worse and worse. So CJ Stroud don't trust the offensive line. Davis Mills just started playing, hasn't taken the same amount of hits, so he trusts the offensive line slightly more. But even at the end of that game, they was lighting him up a little bit too. They was lighting him up. So shout out to Shanithia pointing that out. Great point right there. Great point. Let's get to Cam Ward, y'all.
Suffered from this in my own career, but I knew how to adapt. Shedeur Sanders is not a person that Coach Kevin Stefanski has ever coached. The style
of play?
The person who he is. The relatability is the disconnect. Cam, you from Atlanta. What the hell you know about Norv Turner? What the hell you know about Mike Shula? What the hell you know about Ken Dorsey? What the hell you know about Rob Jasinski? What the hell you know about them? How can they relate? They didn't, but I had to adapt. See, the thing is, when you start talking about coaches or coaches of the year, you have to adapt to your players. So when it has a moment in time where 2016, it's like, yo, for 2016, Adrian Peterson, you only coached him some of the time? And with having a running back like that, why won't you keep coaching him?
I agree.
They
Detroit
removed
Gemini.
him from that running back room, and they put him in the quarterback room with Case Keenum. Are you seeing the rest?
Right there.
He can't relate to black players.
So let me ask you this.
No. And it ain't black players. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that, because that may be the headline, and I don't give a damn if it is the headline. Cultured black players. I'm gonna say it. Deion Sanders would never say that. Shedeur Sanders would never say that. As a matter of fact, Coach of the Year would never say that. But you're not.
I'm going to pause him. So initially Cam said he can't coach black players. Peggy was about to ask him a question, and then he said cultured players. And Jeffrey called it out in the chat. Baker Mayfield, he had the same confidence as Shedeur Sanders. He couldn't coach Baker Mayfield either. So I think Kevin Stefanski can only coach players who speak the language he speaks, and he can't relate to certain players. I always said, if you like Baker Mayfield, how do you not like Shedeur? Both of them are confident in themselves. Both of them are not going to lose the confidence. Both of them have some flashiness where they celebrate. Baker Mayfield dancing in the locker room. Baker Mayfield getting into it with defensive players. Baker Mayfield celebrating on the field. Shedeur celebrating on the field. Wrist up. So Kevin Stefanski, I like how he changed it and said cultured players, because that's his issue. And Kevin Stefanski is not willing to understand players who do not fit the mold of how he views his quarterback. Yeah, I saw Jackson Dart. It's tough. Jackson Dart has to play a little bit safer and protect himself. If you love Jackson Dart, Shanithia, talk to him. Remember, Kevin Stefanski was the one who went to Jackson Dart's pro day. Kevin Stefanski is the one who said Jackson Dart is not the guy. That's why they didn't get Dart. Kevin would have buttoned them up. Kevin would have tried to button them up. But when you take a quarterback that early, it's the quarterback show. It's not the coach's show. Any team, remember this, any team will fire a coach before they get rid of a highly drafted quarterback in their first or second year. Just remember that. Any team will fire the coach first and get a quarterback the shot. That's what they're going to do. That effectively hands the quarterback the keys. We saw it in New York. I showed y'all a little while ago where basically the last, I think 4 or 5 number 1 overall picks, their coach was fired that same year during the season. The quarterback gets the keys when they drafted that early. Jackson Dart high-fived the referee. Talk to him. He's finally saying 12's name. Just wait. 12 will do good and be benched after this weekend. Even with the win, Dillon will be starting after this game. He don't like Sanders. Anyone can see it. Yeah, people were asking me that, big dog, and I was saying, unfortunately, if we had a coach who wanted to move forward and accept the fact that Shedeur's better, Shedeur would continue to play if he balls out this weekend. Kevin Stefanski, I don't trust him. My gut tells me he will go back to Dillon Gabriel. I don't want that to happen, but that's what my gut is telling me right now. That's what my gut is telling me. Jackson Dart was playing like a running back. That's rough for a QB. Those body blows add up. That's a fact. He was launching himself at people. I was like, I want a quarterback. I don't want a running back. That's why they didn't take him in the first. I don't think they wanted to take a quarterback in the first who didn't fit the mold that they feel boxed into. The problem with that is when you're making these decisions out of fear and not football related, you're not going to be there to coach the next guy anyway. Because what does Marie always say? What's going to happen to Kevin Stefanski?
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
This is going to happen. Let's go, Cam.
Gonna tell me something that I don't know.
Keith Hunt tapping in from Jersey. What's good? Yeah, big dog. He is Jackson Dart, he got to clean that up. You can't be in the concussion protocol so much. He got to clean that up. Barry and Haslam force his hand. I hope they do. I hope they do.
To be true. I never had a black quarterback coach. Mm-hmm. I never had that opportunity to be able to go in there and be like, hey, bro, like, I need some time, coach. Like, we never had that relatability where we shared Thanksgiving rituals together.
Yeah, I was kicking it.
So now you got a 5th-round pick.
I hope you're right, Detroit Gemini. I hope you're right. I don't want to see him back out there. I'm over the Dillon Gabriel experience. Kevin Stefanski is just so stubborn that his hand will have to be forced. If they let him make the decision, I just see him doing some messed up stuff.
That's coming into a situation that he ain't never been in large part because of his circumstance of his situation. And now you got Kevin Stefanski, who's only coached.
Jeffrey, do you remember the game the Cleveland Browns last year were playing the Baltimore Ravens? They put Jameis Winston in to do a quarterback sneak. He checked out of it and tried to do a jet sweep. We got stopped on 4th down. That was the first time I saw Kevin Stefanski look disappointed on the sideline. Right after that, he gave up play calling. Look it up. Even Jameis. Look it up. Jameis Winston said, I came to Cleveland to run Kevin Stefanski's offense. That's what Jameis Winston said. As soon as Jameis Winston became the starter, Kevin Stefanski gave up play calling. So, I think Kevin Stefanski will not have the option or the ability to put DG back in when Shedeur comes in and balls out. I'm telling y'all, I hope y'all right. I want y'all to be right. I want to be wrong with this. I think the basis of my decision is more, or me saying this, is more me not trusting Kevin Stefanski. That's what it is for me. I don't trust Kevin Stefanski at all. I don't trust him to do right. Not even 10%. I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. Look out for Pete Carroll to get fired. A lot of these coaches sold to their front office. They didn't need Shedeur, and they could make it work with their pick. And then also they got him to trade for Geno and give Geno all that money. They gave Geno all that money. It looks bad. That's why Acho takes are so mediocre. He hates Shedeur's greatness because he can't relate. He can't relate. I hate to agree with you, but I have to. Yeah, C. Brown run. That's where it's coming from. It's not coming from me saying that shouldn't happen. It's coming from me not trusting Kevin Stefanski. I don't trust Kevin Stefanski, not 1%. If I needed to trust him to walk my dog across the street, I don't trust him to just walk my dog across the street. So I definitely can't trust him with this decision, unfortunately. This is one of those ones where I'm just going to see it play out and hope that I'm wrong about it.
Ultra players, when Tavares Jackson, I think so. Going down the list, you got Deshaun Watson, I think so. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I think so. P.J. Walker, I think so.
Yeah, he coach.
This coach done been in the league since 2005. That's 20 years. And you only coached 3 players that I deem is cultured? Come on, Peggy. So Coach of the Year, it's abundantly clear that you don't want to see Shedeur Sanders win. He ain't like Case Keenum. He's not like Kirk Cousins. He's not like Dillon Gabriel. When he comes in for the first down and he does that, it's not a distraction, bro. You got to understand that. Coach of the year.
You see where I'm coming from, Marie.
You about to lose
You see
your
where I'm
job.
coming from.
You about to lose your job.
That's it.
A bigger message here, and I'm not just talking about Kevin Stefanski. I'm not just talking about Tommy Rees here. This has been an issue in the NFL, in college, in high school, in all type of coaching opportunities because players are not able to be understood.
Or be themselves.
But how do you fix that?
Tell me how, Cam.
You ain't got no.
Let me pause them right here, y'all. I got to pause them right here. Shedeur said something very important. So when people say Kevin Stefanski is not sabotaging Shedeur, at worst, you got to call it incompetence because he's not setting Shedeur and the team up to do the best they can. So it's different ways. I've been a trainer at different jobs I've worked at. You train people based on their learning style. So if I'm training somebody and they say, I want you to do it first or you to do it 3 or 4 times, let me watch you and then I'll do it. There might be somebody that says, you know what? Walk me through doing it and then just let me know what I'm doing right so I can keep doing that. There might be someone else that says, I want you to do it one time and then I just want to follow up and do it after you because I have to do it to get a feel for it to get better. And then they'll say, you know what? Let me do it the next time so I could just get the repetitions of doing it right. Shedeur said, yeah, we in the film room and you can watch film. Oh, you play scout team. Scout team, you going off a card. You're not going off of how you feel. It's not your instincts kicking in. Scout team, you're running a play that the other team runs and you run it the way they run it in those situations. So you show skill, but you don't get the mental reps of me going through the decision-making process. Shedeur said, I learned from actually doing it. Those are his words. I learned from doing it. You see, I got better in the game from doing it. So then, let's go here. If you know a person learns from actually doing it and not watching it, but you only give them the opportunity to watch it and never do it, are you setting them up for success? These are the questions. That's a tough question. That's a tough question we got to get to. If a person is open with you and they tell you how they learn and you don't tap into their learning style to help them get better, are you setting them up for success? Because I don't think you're setting them up for success. I don't think you are. Detroit Gemini, you know what it is. Y'all see it. On-the-job training is the best training. Y'all see it. I think a lot of people are going to be upset when Andrew Berry goes because the talent we had on the offense, we couldn't really evaluate Kevin, so we're going to give him 1 year. Man, I want everybody gone. And if I want everybody gone, and if you say I got to keep one, I'm keeping Andrew Berry over Kevin Stefanski, but I want all of them gone. Speak. If I hear one more player say reps don't matter, then I have to pull your stats. That's a fact. He's walking on eggshells. That's why he's saying Shedeur's name now. Yep. In a longer version of this, I can't watch the whole thing with y'all, but go back and watch this whole thing. He's going to say they're going to break the timeline of when Stefanski stopped saying his name and when he started saying his name again. That's why in the fourth quarter he was ready, which shows that it didn't take him a long time. He is advanced. Facts. I don't think Andrew going anywhere. Shedeur is his guy. I think Andrew Berry definitely is the one who believes in Shedeur. He's the one that gets points for it. I think he's the one. Actionable offense. What's good, Tim? What's going on? Shedeur was Berry's lottery ticket. I totally agree with that. Harris from Sports, what's going on?
Oh my God! Wow!
What is going on? Everybody drop Harris Room Sports in the chat.
I got money.
Good morning, chat. Harris Room Sports was good. If you were looking for coverage of the NBA, you're looking for somebody who breaks down all sports. Harris Room Sports tapping into that live streaming game. He goes live. Let's see if I can remember what you told me. I believe you told me you go live Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere in there. So look for Harris Room Sports to be live on the weekends. He's doing watch parties for Cavs games. So if you are there, definitely, if you're looking for somebody who is talking about the NBA, definitely tap in to Harris Room Sports. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing your thing. I appreciate you as always. Shout out to you. Harris, you know we got to get to it. You know we got to get to it. You know we got to get to it. You know that. If video of this information is somewhere. Which part? Which part, Tim? Which part? We got everybody who listened to Kevin Stefanski, the Albert Beers, the Jason Lloyds come out and say it was supposed to be a red shirt year. So that was out there. We got Shedeur in his last press conference from Wednesday. That's when he said he learns from actually doing it. We have Shedeur, Kevin Stefanski, saying Shedeur never took reps with the first team. So a lot of it is out there. I look at it different because I've actually trained people, and I know to train somebody, you got to tap into their best way to learn. So if Shedeur is saying the best way for me to learn is by doing it, and I never let you do it, I can't be setting you up for success. So that's how I break it down. That's how I break it down. Let's see what else Cam got to say.
Black coaches that have the opportunity to coach these players, calling a spade a spade. To tell us to do it, hey, bro, hey, dog, hey, get in here early, man. Yeah, no. Hey, get in here early. I ain't going back and forth with you. And if he respects you, he gonna say, you know what, coach, you right. But also, hey, man, hey, hold on. Same way you say, Shedeur, you need to be better. Hey, get off my guy. That's my guy. I coach my guy. You don't coach my guy. You don't say, hey, man, worry about your own room, bro. That's my responsibility as a coach. I'm gonna get him to play better. Just make sure y'all play better. Huh?
Yeah.
See, it's so many different things that people are dealt with, but I'm going to call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. This ain't necessarily about black and white more so than just being flat out understood. I don't think Kevin Stefanski understands Shedeur Sanders, but here's the knee slapper.
Tell me that.
I don't think he really wants to understand
I was gonna ask you that. Yep.
Shedeur Sanders. Tommy Reese doesn't want to understand Shedeur Sanders. Why?
Why so?
He's a 5th round pick. That's the easy out.
That's the go-to.
But hold on, no. You don't get to say that because as a coach, it's your job to put the team in the best situation and also to develop players. No matter if he's a free agent, 7th round, 6th round, 5th round, 4th round, 3rd round, 2nd round, or 1st round.
Because if he on that field.
Hello. The greatest quarterback that ever played this game was not a 1st-round pick, ladies and gentlemen. So stay woke. Mm-hmm. He was developed properly. So you don't just get to tell me. It's been more 1st-round bums than 1st-round booms.
Cam is going in right here. Harris, I saw your comment. When it comes to Cam Newton, his takes can be hit or miss on first take. When he is on 4th and 1 and he dedicates a whole podcast to one take, that's when he really gets to it. That's when he really gets to it. He really gets to it. He really got to it here. He really got to it. Cam also says some interesting stuff. Kevin and Reese, something Stephen A. alluded to also. Yep. The leaks are out on who likes him and who doesn't like him. That's what it is. Kevin did the same thing to Deshaun Watson. There was reports he was coaching Jameis and Bailey Zappi to be ready, but he didn't try to coach Deshaun. There were reports of that as well. Watching film is instructional. Getting reps is development. Keith, talk to him. Dillon returned to practice today. Oh. We're going to keep an eye on that. I think Jeffrey asked me about Jerry Jeudy. This is what I don't think Jerry Jeudy's checked out. So people who are around the team every day and they've spoke to him every day, they said they believe it could be something else going on outside of football. That's what Ashley, I think Bartstock is her last name. That's what she said. That's what, surprisingly, Mary Kay was defending Jerry Jeudy. Tony Grossi was defending Jerry Jeudy, said he's always been in a great mood. He always volunteers his time. He always been gracious with his answers. So they were saying this was out of character. Seems like it's not football related. So I ain't going to, I don't have too much to say about that because it could be potentially something off the field, and I don't want to speculate too heavy on it. Exactly, he was never been okay with how Kevin has treated Shedeur. He's been watching and paying attention and moving things behind the scenes. His conscience was not good with what the NFL was doing. It's a fact. Now it's out there. Everybody has an idea. Now, watch the longer video from Cam Newton. That was a really good breakdown he did.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
They're watching Shedeur practice and told Gigi, you're about to lose your job. Get that helmet on. Yeah, just out of nowhere. Concussion symptoms gone, I guess. Now I get to practice. So it's interesting how that situation is going. We're going to pay attention to it. We're going to see how it unfolds. Tap into the longer versions of some of these videos. They do a great job of breaking things down. I think we had a great episode, y'all. Did y'all enjoy this episode? Did y'all enjoy this? I enjoyed y'all. I told y'all I settled in. We had time today on this episode, just under 2.5 hours, but it was points I wanted to get to that I saw that people weren't making. It was also some narratives that I keep hearing that just aren't true. So I really wanted to just lay it all out there before Shedeur gets his first start, and we're going to go over it. And that's what we did. So this was a great episode. We're going to be live Saturday, 8 p.m. Definitely tap in. We're doing a watch party. The bot ain't been nowhere to be found. Now the bot is actually alive. It's crazy. So we're going back to back this weekend, y'all. Saturday, 8 p.m. Them CU Buffs. Juju, we watching him. Sunday, Shedeur. Raiders, first start, 4:05. We going to get to it. Shout out to everybody who tapped in for the stream. Shout out to everybody who supported. Let me do this real quick. I appreciate everybody's support. Shout out to Dawn. Shout out to C.A. Anderson. Shout out to Miss Brown. Shout out to C.A. Anderson again. Shout out to Doggy Bone. Shout out to Shanithia. Shout out to Harris Room Sports. Shout out to everybody for being here. Great episode. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for your input. Thank you for staying here, rocking with me. I always appreciate y'all. It's been real. I will see y'all this weekend. Stay safe. See you soon. Peace.